Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're looking at a place called Fort Pierce and comparing it to other architecture often attributed to native populations. If you're familiar with the channel, you know I like to approach history from an alternative perspective. I think looking at things from a place of not knowing can actually be very powerful. In the world of what some call Tartaria, there's been a lot said about the grand, ornate buildings across the world, but today we're focusing on something a bit more humble. Still, it might be another case of misattributed history. Once you start seeing some cracks in the mainstream story, it makes you wonder what else might be missing. I don't think it's always a case of good versus bad, just complicated stories that might help us understand ourselves better. So back to Fort Pierce. It's tucked away in a fairly remote valley and said to have been built in the mid-1800s by 6 men, supposedly as a defense during conflicts with the natives. But apparently no battle ever actually happened here. What stands out to me is how much it resembles traditional Southwest or Anasazi native architecture. There are even petroglyphs nearby showing this area was inhabited long before. It feels like a lot has been left out of the history, especially about whoever came before. We have this narrative of the Black Hawk War, but it seems like the extent and nuances of this conflict is little remembered by history. We do have a carving from this gentleman, Frank Cannon, in May of 1900. If it's the same person, he was the first Utah State Senator. Here are a few more looks at some of the details on the building. You wonder what this might have looked like originally and whether it goes further below the ground level. Now let's take a look at what's called Anasazi Trail on the other side of town. There are stone structures here too, but these ones are attributed to what are called the Anasazi 1,000 years ago. These ones are almost completely buried. Here are a couple pictures I found online, but when I visited, it looked like the dirt had filled in the structures again. I'm a huge fan of the geology in this area. You get what looks like volcanic rock, massive stone blocks, and even interesting things embedded in the stone, like petrified wood and crystallized patches in what looks like melted rock. Here are a couple more visuals from the area. I even saw a cloud that I thought looked like a dragon, maybe a hint at what caused the destruction. Anyway, that's the video for today. Thank you for watching, and thanks for considering a new perspective.